City and Orbital. Thanks for having us. This one goes out to all the commanders out there. It's called Victory. I hope y'all like it. 1, 2, 3, let's kick it.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome. I hope everybody's doing fine, and that everybody's staying home and enjoying their time home. It's funny. I don't know if you guys have noticed how YouTube is starting to. Whoa, don't hit the star. Click in game. There we go. How YouTube is starting to turn down quality on streams and videos and stuff. So if you get that, realize that that's why. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot Brand does not have a large station. Oh, get away from the star. Yeah, but it's a planetary base, right? Yeah. And that's where I'm gonna have to go because I think I'm too low in fuel to go anywhere else. So today we're going to be doing what we were going to do last week, but we decided last week at the last minute because Frontier didn't show us how to deep core mine, that instead we would go deep core mining. So today we're going to go laser mining. Okay, I was getting some echo from somebody. Okay, and use the Type 9. So kind of the Type 9's always been my favorite mining ship anyway, and figured we'd use it also since today I dropped the video on a couple builds for the Type 9s, right? Let's see, radius. I'll approve that. Let's see. Oh, he's saying YouTube's fucked for him. It's not even showing live stream on main. Interesting. And yeah, I just turned on the mic for everybody else. So yeah, let's give somebody in Discord shout out real quick. Let's just make sure we've got levels.
Hi.
Hello.
Perfect.
Hello.
I'm seeing levels bouncing, so that should be good. Now, if you guys can't hear
Yep.
them, just let me
Storm
know.
chicken.
Hey, Storm, welcome, buddy. Are you going to join us in game? Need some credits?
Yeah, tell me about it. I might bring my cutter in, but I'm multitasking. But
Okay.
I'm here to
Okay.
help.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Also great if you can pay attention to moderation as well. That'd be awesome. Because nobody's online at the moment. So yeah, guys, if you and thank you, Mithrinder, to let me know. If you guys have a question that I missed, by all means, please shout it out again and let me know. I'm not ignoring, just trying to play and watch chat all at the same time, right? And yeah, if you guys want to come join us, the mods will be pasting in the link for the Discord. Storm, did I ever send you the social file that has all the different stuff in it? Here, hold on, let me send you this.
Nope.
It's got like all of
Okay.
the different links I use during various videos. It's just kind of
Yeah, I was gonna get it from Jaffa, but I never got it.
yeah. There you go. There you go. That should do it.
No, thanks.
Thank you. So if you guys would like to come join us, we're in open as we always are. So come on by and either just if we get more than four of us, I'll form up some wings here in a minute. If we get more than four of us, we'll drop people in, have them drop wing, form other wings, to get everybody into the instance, so we can get as many as possible there. And yeah, we'll talk about some laser mining. So thank you as always, Cement. Cement just pooped on me as he always does. To clarify that for the people that can't see Super Chat, just because, that doesn't really sound the way I want it to. Cement always donates $1 and does the little poop emoji. So anybody else that would like to pay $1 and poop on me is welcome to. We all have a price, and apparently mine's $1, I guess. Um, so by all means. So we're going to talk about wing laser mining. I've covered this several times. We've streamed it before. I've got a couple of videos on the topic. One that was pretty here recently. Storm, if you happen to find that link, or I can find it here in a second, for that video that covers it. But in short, you're going to wing up with as many large ships as you can get. So the more and the bigger the ships, the more ultimate profits per hour you're going to make. And Dracus, the guys who are in voice are myself, and then there's 10 of us in Discord right now. So you're welcome to come chat with us if you've got questions or things like that. So I like to use the Type 9 personally. I play in VR a lot. I just greatly prefer the Type 9's cockpit in VR over the cutter. But Cutter's totally fine. Anaconda's fine. The Corvette actually is fine. The other thing I like about the the Type 9 is it's the only ship that you can get 512 tons of cargo, and you can get 13 active collector limpets. And with mining, it's all about it's all about collector lipids, right? It's all about speed. It's all about quantity over quality. And in fact, let me post a link to this build, which should be in the video that I just posted this morning, but I'll share that. This is my, no, go ahead. What's the question?
I think your mining T9 was my first mining build, first like serious mining build.
Yeah, gotcha. It's what I like about it. This build is, it is, and hey, Ava on Twitch, it is what I consider open safe, right? So, does that mean it's completely unkillable? No, of course not. But it is, this build has never been killed. It's got, I think, right at 1,000 megajoules of shields. Actually, a little over 1,200 megajoules of shields. So anything but a large wing with, say, a ground bomb. Ground bomb is the FSD interrupter missile. So that's the missile that, if you get hit with it, it resets your frameshift drive. So really anything but that, I'm going to survive. And with good evasion tactics, high waking, not low waking, all that good kind of stuff, right? We are doing this in open. We're going to go sell in open. Last week, I actually invited the guys from Code to pirate me. I won't necessarily invite them tonight, but if they are in system, which is more than likely, we might get pirated. We'll see how to handle that, and we'll talk about that when we get to that. But yeah,
Sir?
yeah, question.
With the ground bomb, there is a partial defense against it if you have at least 1, maybe 2 point defense turrets. They're not perfect, but they're better than.
Yep, and that's true. I personally generally go for shields over that. It's very rare, number one, that somebody's going to get you with a ground bomb. Even if they get you with a ground bomb with strong shields, a lot of times you can make it out of that. But yeah, you could use point defense top and bottom. I wouldn't personally give up the shields for that. It's also not a bad idea if you're going to run a point defense to run it on the belly, because a lot of times you're also defending against hatchbreaker limpets from human and NPC pirates. Right. But yeah, no, that's a way to handle it. The ground bomb is a dumbfire, not a seeker. So it's a little harder to get it because if they're right behind you, right in front of you, which if you're in something big and fast and running is usually going to be the case, point defense is going to do, pretty little in those cases. Some of the guys tried to run point defense on their Sidewinders during Sidewinder slaughter, and I showed them that it is basically useless against dumbfires. So we're in Boran. The reason we're in Boran, it's the only known triple overlapping low temp diamond hotspot. For those that are new, what we mean by that is when we go probe the rings, and I think it's still broken, so you can't actually see the hotspots. We'll find out when we get there if it is. But when
This
you
one's
probe,
not, I don't think.
when you probe the rings, you'll get hotspots that show where to mine for the high value resources. Well, there's about a dozen or so. Let me show you guys the tool. Here we go. If we go to the miner tool, we can put in our reference system. Just for shits and giggles, I'm going to use Sol for this. And we can say low temp diamonds. And these are all the systems that are known with overlapping hotspots. And the great thing about that is the spawn rate in those systems in those areas is going to be higher, right? We did this for Painite for the longest time until the January update when prices for things changed. We'll talk about that in just a second. And so right now, Boran, which is this guy right here, is the only known triple overlapping low temp diamond hotspot. And as such, that's where we're going to head. So once we decide that, the next thing we want to decide, actually before we pick what we're going to mine, is deciding what that is based on the price of these minerals right here. These are the high dollar things. Used to be void opals were the big daddy and paid in the 1.6 range. So if we go to EDDB, you can do this on a NAR too. I use EDDB. And by the way, forgive my voice. I don't have corona. At least I don't think I do. Nobody can get tested, so how do you know? But I've just been talking a lot, and I've just had a little bit of sore throat the last few days, so forgive me for being a little scratchy tonight. But if we come here and we go to, actually I'll just go right from the beginning. From the home, we go to commodities, and I'm going to search and scroll down for low temp diamonds. We'll look at that. And as we scroll down and search by sell price, right now, the highest sell, actually a few minutes ago, it was 1.6. Right now, it's 1.36. So, okay, pretty good. But if we look, the demand is really low. So it's somewhat likely that by the time we go to sell, this demand will be filled and the prices will have dropped, right? This demand at 2,000, not bad. Still, even at 950,000, that's pretty great price, right? Now, we would also potentially look at things like Paynite. Let's see what Paynite is selling for right now. Paynite's only at 500,000. So while you can get it faster generally, not much these days, than you can low temp diamonds, that's not enough to make the difference, right? Now you'll notice when I did low temp that when I scroll down, you can put in our reference system here, and you should do that to where you are. The reason you don't want to do that at first is it won't necessarily, it limits the range from where you are to about 50 light years. So all of a sudden it might show you, in fact, let me open another tab and do exactly that. Go to diamonds and we'll say Boran because that's where we're heading out from. And we find station. Okay, in this case, it did give us that high dollar still. If I did something like my home system, for example, let's see if that gives us. Come on. Okay, maybe it's just.
I think
not
you're set to
refreshing.
buy.
Well, it'll give you both. It doesn't matter. There's only selling for low temps. So in this case, again, fine is there, but sometimes if you use that, all of a sudden it's just going to show you like 500,000 or something. It's like, wait, what the hell? So just realize that you want to search for that once you've determined which it is that you're going to do. All right. So let's see. Yeah, radius. It's just that one Omicron system that's broken. Let's see. I might have missed something. Okay, it's Omicron, the one that doesn't. I'm not following you guys, Radius, what you guys are talking about.
The hotspot's highlighting on rings. It's just that one system that has.
Oh, it was broken in Baran for me last week when we did it.
Oh, was it?
Absolutely, right.
It's working for me now, sir.
Okay, good. So we'll see that in just a second. So before we head out, we're not going to do what I always do and forget to buy limpets.
Totally not.
Yeah, don't forget to buy
while I'm trying
limpets.
to go get those.
Yeah, let's
Heck, it's a
buy
freaking
some
sign you can find at the
limpets.
mail slot. Don't forget your.
Yeah, no shit, right? It's almost
I'm-
a meme for me at this point.
Actually, just sitting right next to you, landing pad right next to you this whole time.
Cool. And usually, guys, you're never going to use all of the limpets. So some people will buy half your cargo worth. Some people will buy. I always buy all of them. And there's two reasons for that. One, while you can synthesize limpets, I've done it many times. It's hard to synthesize. It takes a lot of materials. So you kind of can't get more limpets. And if some moron like me always forgets to bring their limpets, you can dump some limpets for them. So I always bring a full load. It's the thing. I'd rather have them and not need them than need them and not have them. So before we head out, let's quickly look at my fire groups. So you're going to have, I must have changed things around. Yep, oh yeah, for this, we really only need 2 fire groups. We need one where we're going to have our prospector limpet, and we're going to have one where we're going to have our mining lasers. I always put the collectors on the same button on both fire groups. That way, as they expire, I can send out more limpets. Okay. Now, the other thing you'll see is I've got one B class here, and that's just because I was swapping stuff around and put the wrong one on here, to be honest. I tend to use A-rated limpets for this sort of mining where I want the limpet lifespan to be longer, because an A-rated limpet will last 720 seconds, or a B-rated limpet will last, I think it's 540. With a B-rated limpet having a longer distance, it will go collect stuff versus A-rated, right? Well, for this, I'm slow, I'm fat, I'm going to be right next to it anyway, so that much range is fine. I'd rather just have them live longer and chase me around. So that's why we're using A-rated here.
B is actually 420. For
420.
the,
Okay.
5 Bs.
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha. So it's 420 versus 720 then. Thanks.
Yes.
I'm running mining lances. That's the power play module. It's a power play module. Takes a month to unlock. It's kind of the butt of a lot of jokes because they bill it as a mining laser that also does damage. Right? You can use it as a weapon. which is absurd. What's great about it, though, compared to the standard mining laser, is it has a 1.5 kilometer range versus half a kilometer. So as you're approaching a rock, you can literally mine 3 times sooner, right, as you're approaching it. So if you've unlocked the mining lance, if you know you're going to go do a lot of mining, right, and you're going to do it in the next month, I do really suggest it. Otherwise, I'll admit it was the very last of the 11, I think it is, modules that I unlocked, because you're only going to use it for mining. But it really does work very, very well for mining. Okay, so with that... Jarkus, aren't those other triple ones out in Colonia?
There's one somewhere in the middle of nowhere too.
And so, if we look back at the miners tool, we're going to see that we're on A2 B ring. So, let's get heading up to Super Cruise. And we open our galaxy map. We look at A2. Who did I just bang into? I just banged into somebody. Okay. If we look at A2, I'm right around it right now. We'll lock onto A2, which is going to be right next to me. We'll head there. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot to bind. To our fire groups, we're going to need to bind, just right here at the beginning, the detailed surface scanner. So we'll switch to the analysis mode. Whoops. Hold on.
Hey, Xegius, if you're in a wing,
Yeah.
does everybody have to bring one of those, or is
No,
it?
only one person. Everyone else can see the hotspots. As long
They
as
can
they're in the
also
wing with
just
the
drop
person
on
who
your wing
scanned.
beacon. They can also just
That
drop
too.
on your wing beacon.
I don't think, let me correct something. I don't think other people can actually see the hotspot, right? But they can drop it on your
That is
beacon,
correct, yeah.
right? So they won't
If you
see
already
it.
scanned it, you can see
Yeah,
it.
yeah. But I can see it. You can drop it on me. So yeah, if you're in a wing, only one person has to have it. But it's genuinely a good idea to have that module on a mining ship just anyway, right? But technically, no. Only one person in the wing would need it.
Although, if you afterwards de-equip it from the ship, you cannot see the hotspots. Like, you have to have it equipped to even see them.
That's right. That's
at
right.
all.
That's absolutely correct.
Another note as well, it also has to be
Oh.
in analysis mode. They won't show
Um,
up if you're not in analysis.
And Drilly, if that's you next to
Actually,
me in
no,
the
they
cutter, will you send me a wing invite?
Absolutely.
You're mass locking the fuck out of me. Oh, Jakara. Forgive me, Jakara, if I got that wrong. My apologies. Hey, everybody gets my name wrong too, so I get it. So I
actually
don't take that as being
super
mean
cruise
at all.
right now.
Oh, well, who's next to me in the cutter then?
Some rando, I don't know.
Let's see who it is.
Just turn my beacon on anyway.
Yeah, they aren't on my friends list.
Hey, if you're
There.
doing a wing, you'll want to turn off crimes too, because you might hit each other with the mining laser.
Actually,
I don't know if this guy's here or not.
wingmates
Senator-
can't
Senator
commit
Perry?
crimes against each other.
Is Senator Perry here in Discord? Okay, not in Discord.
Yeah, it's a negative.
That's who I was bumping into. Come on. Max are going to overheat until he jumps. Come on, dude, jump. He said, I was hoping to be YouTube famous.
Well, there you go. I suppose they are now.
Come on, dude. Jump for me. Oh, he just logged out. Okay, well. That works too. Either way, I can jump, so. He said he wanted to be YouTube famous. I said, yeah, right now you are because you're fucking me up. So jump. Okay, so now let's get on our way there.
While I'm sitting in Super Cruise doing nothing, is anybody else coming along with us? That wants
I'm
to-
already
I'm-
in the ring site.
I'm leaving Brothers right now to head towards the rings.
Okay. We'll probably have form up a couple wings is what I'm getting. Storm, are
Yeah,
you?
but,
Do you think you're going to be able to join us?
No, multitasking working.
Okay, no worries. There is a Corvette here. Let's see who that is.
Well, I'd have brought the blue fission miner, but work call.
Oh, he must have throttled down because I just lost him. There's a bug right now. If somebody throttles down in Super Cruise, you don't see them on the scanner. They disappear.
That's useful.
Yeah, it's him. F8SM. Don't know them.
I don't
Okay.
have anybody,
Let's head back.
any players in my instance right now. Interestingly enough.
Lock.
Well,
Okay.
Whatever instance I'm trying to super cruise into is freaking full.
Okay, so let's head there and probe the rings just to start. And it very well may show up on my panel, but I'm going to probe it anyway just to show it. By the way, one of the things you just saw me do, I just turned on remote systems in my filters, and I did that for one reason. If somebody starts to have a go at me, I'm going to be high waking to another system, so I want to have that on already so that I can very quickly grab a remote system and jump. Pretty rare that somebody has a go at me on stream, but could happen.
That was me scanning UX.
Oh, no worries. No worries. So as we approach, if you see over where it says surface scanner out of range, we're looking for it to either say too fast, meaning we're in range, we're just going too fast, or a number, it'll say 3, and that means you're in range and able to scan. There we go, too fast, so I throttle down, fire the scanner, fire it at the ring.
That's actually kind
Whoop.
of surreal to watch.
Okay, I've got something. What is doing that? Okay, hold on. I've got a little bit of bug that I need to fix in
The
voice
system
attack.
is Baran and the planet is A2. And it's the outer ring.
There we go. Okay, that should fix that. And so, yeah, the hotspots are showing. Fantastic. So now, once we see the hotspots, we're looking for a low temp diamond. So if we look on our list over here and we turn on points of interest and we look for the low temp diamonds, we can start to target them and then look and see, okay, there's one. And there's one right next to it, but that looks like it's a double one, not the triple one. So let's look again. Aha, look at all these. That's probably weird. Nope, it's not that one. That's the one it is. So again, we target each of the 3, and you can see that those 3, and now I can see the wing beacon down there, but I can see that those 3 are the ones that are all right next to each other. Right.
For this specific
So
site,
that's
there's a low resource extraction site right next to it. That's how you can easily find it.
Yeah, that too. MacVern, hold on, buddy. And again, for guys in Discord, I am watching the live stream chat channel. So if you want to get a quick message to me, that's the easiest way. And Cement, I will drop it on you. So now you can just navlock to your buddy. I'm being all paranoid. I see there's a vet or a python behind me with hard points out. Oh, it's just Wolf Dragon. So it's a good idea to drop in kind of in the middle, in between all of them as much as you can. Really in this region, yeah, Samantha, you're a little close to the edge of it, but it really shouldn't matter in this area.
Can I get a wing beacon on somebody so I can just zone in?
We're going to need to form a second wing. So I tell you what, Andriel, if you don't mind dropping this wing and forming a second one, you're in the instance already, right, Andriel?
I am, yes.
Yeah. Why don't you
can
drop and form
wing,
up the
I'm
second
just not
wing?
friends with many people.
Yeah, so if you guys can send him a wing invite, it's the same name as you see in
One second.
Discord, or a friend request.
You'll have to wait 40 seconds because game mechanics. But yeah.
I only have a single screen, so I can't look to type.
And of course, it dropped me 20
might
clicks
get all
away.
Everyone make sure they've got crimes off.
Thank you. Another good thing to know is if you, whoops, where the hell is that? There we go. When you drop into the instance, you'll notice that there's a pirate behind me right now. You can see this the signal. I guarantee you that's an NPC pirate. Whenever you start a mining session, there's going to be a pirate like that that's going to drop in. Meaning, you don't want to start a session like this with anything in your cargo. In fact, Cement, Macfern, do you guys have anything in your cargo holds yet?
I have limpets.
Just limpets.
Okay, good. And so the key there is, let's say you spend a couple hours mining and you decide that you're going to stop for the night. Well, basically go sell, because if you log back in, when you log in, if you've got, low temp diamonds or valuable cargo, as soon as you log in, even if you fly out to Super Cruise and come back, a pirate is going to spawn with you. They're going to scan you and they're going to engage. Right? So you, depending on what build you're in, if you're in a cutter, you can run away from it. Even if you're a Type 9, the first thing you can do is start boosting and running, but really you don't want to start a session, right, with stuff in your cargo hold. You want to start empty. And yeah, whoever asked, if you looked at the overlay, on the bottom left of the overlay, it says that we're in open.
Wolf Dragon.
So
I'm gonna add you as a friend, Wolf Dragon, just a second.
Go right ahead.
Deploy our hard points.
I only have one
And-
monitor, so it does not work for me to bounce back and forth.
We're going to get to mining, right? So in essence, what we're going to do is all of us in the wing are looking for the highest value asteroids we can find. With low temp diamonds, that's something for me, certainly above 25%. 20% is not bad. And the really great thing about this is, even with 4 people mining the rock, everybody gets the same amount of fragments from the rock. So you don't get let's say the rock was going to produce 10 fragments. It's not like the 4 of you have to split those 10 fragments. Each of you gets the full 10 fragments. So it's a great way to do this with friends, to pass the time. You can even, we've done this in the past, bring someone that's maybe new, has a smaller ship, turn off your limpets, and just let them pick up everything, right? If you want to help boost a friend a little bit, right? Great way to do that. And as you guys just saw, the scan that just hit me is more than likely the NPC that you see flitting around behind me. Sure enough, there's a vulture behind me, and there's somebody off over to my right that's probably going to resolve here in just a little bit.
I know the vulture is a cop, actually.
Yeah, I see
in
that.
This case.
Right. So let's start to get prospecting. Now, another tip is, you notice I'm facing the planet right now. You pretty much want to always be going in the direction of either toward or away from the planet to keep yourself from going over the same area twice, right? So that you're not looping back on yourself. And when I mentioned about prospectors, each of you do need to get your own prospector into the rock. So just as you're getting ready, like fire your own prospectors into it, right? So let's fire our first prospector and start seeing what we get.
I have a rock right in front of me with 37%.
Okay. Like I said, if you see those, DM them on local if you don't mind.
Yep.
Right now, random uploader, there isn't necessarily a new, selling one. It changes constantly. We covered that right off the bat, but essentially you're going to go to eddb.io and find what is paying the best at that moment. Like literally, like I wouldn't even check it until we're ready to, I checked it beforehand to make sure they're paying at least, $1 million or a certain amount, but we're not going to actually decide where we're going to go until right when we're going to sell. Another thing I should point out, I like stopping in the system or one system away of where I'm going to mine to pick up limpets and to pick up fuel so that when I'm done mining, I can hopefully jump all the way to the selling station without having to sell, right? And actually, you know what? I'm going to change my fire groups around. I did not. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted. So now I've found a rock that's got 30%. That's perfectly great. So I would tell my wingmates and everybody in the area that, hey guys, I've got one that's at 30%. I'm going to start deploying all my collectors. Oh, why are my limpets deactivated? Oh, okay, I turned them off last time we were here. That's why. Let me turn my collectors back on. And so you want, let's make sure that's all good. Yeah. So you want to make sure you don't have something targeted when you when you deploy your collectors. If you deploy them like right now with nothing targeted, they'll just start to go pick up everything in the area. And another key is it's everything that you don't that is not excluded. And by that, what I mean is if I start mining now, as fragments chip off and I look over here in contacts, I'm going to see those fragments and they might have more than low temp diamonds in them. For example, if you see these things that I've excluded, these activating materials, the ship must have gotten exploded recently, right? But vanadium, and it's jumping around because there's limpets in the area. It's a pain in the ass that it does this. But hold on a second, guys.
Yeah, it's a great build stream. And you didn't turn on the sound bar. Grab the remote from under the TV and turn the sound bar back on. Thank you. Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. Just mic check. Am I back?
Yeah,
Yep.
you're
Yeah. Oh,
back.
okay, cool.
Dumb
So-
question.
Yeah.
In order for somebody to join in on this, do they have to have their own prospector limpet to hit the?
Yes
the
and no.
rock?
For it to generate the like, so if you don't put a prospector in it, it's not going to generate extra chunks, right? So essentially you would be kind of taking my chunks in a way. So technically no, but yes, if that makes sense. Right.
I'll be right
So,
back. I gotta
yeah.
go get another
Yep.
module.
So it's always
A further point to that, I think, is that it doesn't apply to people in your wing.
what do you mean?
The prospector. If you have a prospector and everybody else in your wing doesn't, they still get the bonus, but I don't think that's true. I'm not sure.
And I
Never
don't
had
know
the
that
chance to
that's
test
true
that.
either, but in short, you want to bring a prospector. But and plus
I do
the
know
benefit
the other night. I do know the other night a buddy of mine went out and he was shooting prospectors and I was able to see them and we were just
That's right.
both
And
just tag teaming them.
and you can target your wingmates limpet. You, by the way, you cannot do that for deep core mining. While you can target your buddy's limpet in deep core mining, it will not show you all of the fissures if you do that. Okay. And so the other reason you technically want a prospector for this is part of what makes it go quickly is like I just finished this rock, right? Like I've mined it empty, it's depleted. I'm going to start looking for the next one. And with everybody looking, you're going to be finding stuff much more quickly. So that's the other reason that you want one, right? What was the thing I was just about to point out? Shoot. Damn it, something
Okay,
just
so
popped
it
in
is
my head.
working for now, but I should have my own prospector drone out there.
Correct.
anyway.
Yeah.
Correct. Like, do
The-
you have to have one
the-
for tonight? No, right? Like, I wouldn't go hugely out of the way. If you check EDTB and you can buy one in the system or in the next door system, I probably would, but you don't have to.
Because, yeah, the prospector, the grade actually matters, A, B, C, D, E, and it generates more fragments when you prospect a rock.
I don't know that that's true. Never have I seen or heard that. The only difference in the size of the prospector is how many active limpets you can have and the distance that limpet will go.
The rating part changes how many, like, it's a subtle difference, but it does change how many, the wiki says so anyway. That it changes how many fragments are generated.
Okay, I would want to see proof of that because I have never, ever, ever read or seen that. I mean,
Have to be something we test, I
yeah,
suppose.
I would absolutely have to test that. Okay, somebody else in chat saying they've heard that too. I've never heard that, but it would definitely be something to test, right? I mean, if that's true, that's great. Okay, multiple people are saying they've heard that. Sorry, and hey, I certainly haven't heard everything, so that could be, but I've definitely never heard that before. If that's true, that's great. All right, more people are saying it, so I guess learn something new every day. So I've had another 23%er, and you'll see again, given the range of my mining lasers, I can mine that much further away. All right, that's interesting to know. I'll have to go check that. I always run just a class 3 anyway. But there was something else I was about to point out. Now I can't remember what it was. other than, this is all about volume. Damn it. Ah, well, it'll pop in my head when I remember.
When you guys jump in as well, make sure you're telling people because I just had a pirate come after me.
Yeah, we've got some friends here and that is arguably one of the nice things about the cutter is that you can bring actual weapons on it and fight off, a pirate. We've got some people here that is, we've got enough people here, right?
And nothing
Oh,
like
interesting.
your
Okay,
mass
so
lock the
radius
cutter.
is saying class only affects the number of limpets, and distance rating affects the number of fragments. So in other words, radius, are you saying like
Yeah.
a class 7A would have the longest range and the most. A class 1E would have the shortest range and the least fragments, and a 7E would have the same range as a 7A. Would have a shorter range than the 7A, but would produce the same number of fragments. Is that what I'm hearing, Radius? Evening Cable, welcome, buddy. Still's driving me crazy that I can't remember what I was going to say earlier. Okay, great. Thank you, Radius. All right, good. That's good to know. I wonder if anybody's actually tested that to see like what kind of difference we're talking about too, right? I've got another 22er, by the way.
I think the basic rule of thumb is that an A-rated prospector slightly more than doubles the amount of drops that come off a rock.
Well, no, it's not the A. He's saying that A affects the distance. It would be the number. Like a 7 would produce more fragments than a 3 would.
It's supposed
I know what I was going to do. I know what I was going to say. Hold on, before I forget. So you'll see that I just filled my cargo hold, right? Because I brought so many limpets. So I'm going to go ahead and abandon. I usually do them in packs of 20. But what I was going to point out was I also use a smaller refinery. So I always take class 2 refineries because if I run a class 4 refinery, I can only run, say, a class 1 collector, where I can run a class 2 refinery and a class 3 collector, get an extra collector. And because I'm only refining low temp diamonds, I get 6 bins versus 10. And so the only difference means at the end, if I fill my entire cargo hold and all of my bins are full, I would have an extra 6 tons versus an extra 4 tons. Well, personally, because I'm only refining low temp diamonds, the number of bins doesn't make that big a difference. Those 4 tons, I would always pick having another active collector. Okay, wait a minute, Radius. So you said that differently a second ago. So let's clarify. So a 7 versus a 1 would give you more active limpets. A versus E is what handles the fragments and the lifespan and range of the limpet. Because is that what we're saying?
That sounds right, yeah. Because rating is the letter grade, class is the number grade.
Right. Yeah, and so, okay, Dark Side. Okay, cool. Well, like I said, now I'm curious to go one of these days. I'm going to have to bring a class 1 and a class 7, like a 1E and a 7A. Actually, what we're saying, a 3E versus a 3A. Yeah, okay, all right. So in other words, if you use a 7A versus a 3A, it's going to produce the same amount of fragments, correct? That's what we're saying, just to clarify.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I still would like, so then it would be testing a 3E versus a 3A and seeing the fragment distance. Okay, great. I'm going to test that here soon. And yeah, I kind of enjoyed the video I did on the thermal vent testing. So I definitely want to do some more stuff like that. So this would be a fun one to do. Okay. And Dark.
There would also be the thing to keep in mind when testing is rocks can have different quantities of fragments they're going to drop in the first place, right?
Well, and that's why I think this would be hard to test. And you guys are all saying it. My skeptical gut says that's bullshit, but I'm certainly willing to try it. And I found another 26. And as you guys see, right, it's just high quality after high quantity after high quantity. Whoops. One bad thing about the mining lances, as you guys just saw, is nice cement, is they run hot. So you do want to keep full pips in weapons as you're mining. And I also find if I run 5 of them, I tend to overheat, where if I run 4, I don't. So that's why I'm running 4 right now.
Watch out, Andriel. I'm below you.
So do you deep core mine? And Grund, oh God, I'm getting your name wrong on Twitch. Forgive me. Yes, you could, and we talked about that last week. You could do deep core and laser at the same time. I think it makes more sense if you're outfit for deep core, like with a Crate Mark II, let's say. I think it makes sense to bring a mining laser and also mine those deep core asteroids with the mining laser before you explode them. But I don't think it makes as much sense the other way around, right? Like right now, as you've seen, I've barely had to move around. And with deep core, it's much more about like finding the high quality rocks and flying around a lot to them than it is with this, where I'm just doing volume. Right. So I would probably not do it the other way. Like if I was deep core, I would bring a mining laser. But if I'm doing specifically laser mining, I wouldn't bother bringing deep core gear, if that makes sense.
Hey. This ship does not stop at all. The only downside of bringing a
Yeah.
cutter
Okay.
miner-
Darkside. Yeah. Darkside's saying he agrees. Right. Yeah, I like the Type 9 for this because, like I said, because of the number of active limpids, because of the view, just found another 27. Because of the view, like I mentioned off the top, I play in VR a lot, so I really, really like the view in the Type 9 over the, over the cutter. Keep forgetting to put pips back in weapons. Storm, were you just reiterating what we were saying, or is that a quote from something?
Both.
Okay.
It's from the wiki.
Okay,
That
gotcha.
looks like a quote from the wiki. Yeah.
That's kind of why I was asking. Will you post the link into that page if you don't mind, Storm?
Oh, we have a pirate
Human or NPC?
NPC.
Okay.
I
I
can
have
go
2
get
rail
him.
guns.
Pirate spawned.
Well, if those
Yeah,
with
sorry,
weapons
it's my
can
fault
take
because
them
I
out.
came into the
Yep,
instance.
and that's actually a good point. Like if you're gonna do this in a wing, get your whole wing there before you start. Right now, we're not worried about it right now, and again, arguably that is a good reason to bring the cutter, right? Because you can do combat mining, so to speak. Those that know me know I just really just don't like the cutter. Personal preference. I don't like the cockpit of it. I don't like how sluggish. I mean, I say I don't like how sluggish it is, and I'm in a Type 9. But there's just something I like about the Type 9, right? I'm going to disagree with that, Nathaniel. Nathaniel just put in Discord that a good pip setup for mining is 024 because you can move around. I disagree in that, sure, it's a good thing to have pips and engines as you're moving, but I would be active about my pips and always keeping 2 pips in systems. Right now, granted, we're pretty low risk here and stuff, and we're paying attention, but I'm a fan of, and I will always suggest having some pips in systems because of the difference that makes in the strength of your shields. So as long as
I
you're
normally
being really
run
active,
204.
exactly, right? And so then, now that I'm moving around, I'm running 240, right, as I'm moving around. But personally, I think it's a really bad idea to be sitting still with 0 pips in systems. Ideally, I'd be sitting here at 402, but my lasers are going to be too strong, and I'm going to overheat if I do that.
Even when I'm moving around, I don't have my pips in engines.
I mean, I do. I go 204. I mean, I go 240 or 204 depending on what I'm doing, right? So I'm always keeping 2 pips in systems, and then I'm taking the other 4 and putting them in either engines or weapons as I move around. For those that are regulars here, I harp on pip management and active pip management a lot. It's not just about when you're doing it in combat. It's also when you're doing stuff like this. I think having when you're doing oh, and Radius, it does apply to solo too, because it applies to solo for NPC pirates as well, right? We're not just talking about humans attacking you, but if you're being complacent, you're not paying too much attention, and an NPC pirate creeps up behind you, You know, it's not as dangerous as a human pilot, and it's probably not as critical as when you're in open, but it is still an important skill. It's just something to get in a good habit of, right? You want to always be thinking about where's that energy, where do I need it, and where am I sending it?
Why am I getting shot at?
I don't know. I can't see your
Someone
screen.
may have crimes on and their point defense is hitting you.
Yeah, if everybody again can double check you've got crimes off, or just
Cement?
be good.
Of course, it's.
Yeah, somebody is showing up as hostile to my wing now.
What?
It looks like
It
it's
also,
cement.
well, remember, it also could be if somebody flies across a laser and just clips somebody, right? Easily could be that too, right?
Yeah, my point defense are going crazy. Hold on.
Yeah, and Radius, that the Radius made the comment, he's never been attacked by a pirate, but he does move away from the point of arrival until the NPC despawns. Sure, right? And that's a great way to do it too. I think it's just more a good habit to always be pips and systems, right? Like,
How do
fine,
I,
I mean,
target?
you could argue there's an exception to every rule, but if somebody's asking for my advice is always going to be, in this case, flying dangerously is fun, but this is where you want to be flying safely. Yeah, and I'll
What's
admit,
an
I'm,
easy way of
Yeah.
slaving my target to what my wingman is targeting?
I mean, you can use wingman.
There isn't an easy way, but
There's a keybane. There's a
No, no,
keybine
hold on,
for it.
guys.
You have to set it.
There's wingman navlock. Excuse me, wingman targeting. The default binds are 7, 8, and 9 selects wingman 1, 2, and 3, and then 0 targets their target.
Yep.
So that's what you're looking for. Now you can't. There's not a way where you can affect your wingmate's targeting to target your thing, right? But that's how you would target your wingmate's target.
Yeah, there's also not a way to just automatically target whatever that wingmate is targeting either. That's not a thing either.
Well, it would appear that
And we've been at this for what, 15 minutes, and I've already got 50 tons. So in 15 minutes, I've got 50 million worth of cargo. You know,
I have
that quickly.
18
Well, what are you in? You're in a Python, right?
Python.
Yeah, see, that's the difference between how many active limpets do you have? Like, what classes limpet controllers did you go with?
Scroll down and find
Wolf
them.
Dragon? Yeah, okay.
5 alpha.
Okay, so yeah, that means you've got 3 active limpets. I have 13,
Yeah.
right? So
When you're mining in
big,
a wing, a
big
good thing
difference.
to keep in mind is how many limpets you have versus how many everyone else has. When you're mining in a wing, the people with more limpets are going to fill up their cargo holds first because there's just going to be so much more fragments that they're picking up that you're not. But if they stick around and help you mine, you'll fill up very quickly after.
Okay.
Interesting. So it looks like I use a macro for wing targeting, and it looks like I got to check it. Something's wrong with it. Because the other thing I've been doing, guys, that normally you wouldn't do is I've been ignoring my wingmates saying, "Hey, I found this here." Normally you would want to stay as tight together as possible. And I think Mac Vernon Cement, we've either de-instanced or, oh, you guys I think are just such a mess of fragments that it's just so bright I can't see you guys. Let's head back
Yeah,
over
everybody
You
here.
can't
just
see
got
anything
even
on my
now.
sensors either.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just a cloud of limpets and
Yep, yep.
fragments.
Yep.
Though
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
and
do
as
know
you
where
guys,
cement is. He's purple now.
and as you guys see,
Mhm.
right, just all those collectors going, and to the point before about having that few limpets in the Python, right? Well, if I've got 13 active limpets and you've only got 3, I'm more than likely grabbing your shit too, right? Because I've got so many more
Probably.
limpets, right?
Yep. Yep.
All right. Let's
I guess
keep
it just means that
searching.
I need to stick around till the end, and hopefully you guys will help me just fill up at the end.
Well, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, at some point I can just turn off my limpets. I've got plenty of credits.
It's only polite. If you're going wing mining, it's only polite to help your friends finish
That's
up too.
the great thing about this, right? You can chit chat. You're helping each other. You're boosting each other. If you've got a newer commander that doesn't have as many credits, you can turn off your limpets and let them have stuff. And this one's a little low. This one's only got 17%, but it's right in front of me. So I'm just going to go ahead and take it. Welcome, Lava Wolf. How's it going, buddy? And I keep forgetting, you see, to put pips back in system or in weapons, so I'm running hot because of that. Remembering that the amount of pips in weapons absolutely affects the amount of heat generated by those weapons, right? So as you see right now, I'm even cooling down while I'm firing all 4. But if I go all pips out of weapons, watch how quickly my heat jumps up.
It's actually also proportional to how much energy you have in the capacitor too.
That's true.
Like if you have no
Yep.
energy in the capacitor and you jump to 4 pips, you're probably going to overheat yourself.
And so what we'll do, guys, is we're not going to do this. Certainly not until I'm full. It would take me a couple hours to fill this thing up. We'll do this for a little bit longer, and then we're gonna go sell just to finish this out and see what that's like. So I'm thinking tonight is probably going to be a little bit closer, a little bit shorter stream. We'll probably go maybe another half hour or so. For those that are regulars, the other thing that we always do as tradition at the end of a stream is play CQC. So if you would like to come join us for CQC, if you've never played CQC, if people have told you CQC sucks, CQC is fucking awesome. What sucks about CQC is trying to instance and get a match, but because we bring a group with us, because we're all here, we don't generally have that problem. So if you've never played CQC before and you want to give it a try, if you're listening and not in Discord and can join us in Discord, great. If you can't join us in Discord and you just wanted to join us in game, by all means do. It really, really is huge fun. The other thing, if you're new to that kind of stuff, Gundago, if I'm getting your name right, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm also streaming on YouTube, and I generally get a lot more viewers on YouTube, so I can only have one tab open at a time. So I tend to pay attention to the YouTube chat and just tick over to Twitch every now and then. I don't mean to ignore the Twitch guys, so forgive me. But yeah, come on over to YouTube if you'd like. But when we do, another thing we do twice a week, Mondays and Wednesdays, is what we call Sidewinder Slaughter. It's like CQC. We all get in Sidewinders, bone stock outfitting, go PvP deathmatch outside of an anarchy station. Every time you die, you get to upgrade 1 module. Later rounds, we do 2 modules. So it adds this really cool kind of strategy element to it. What modules do you upgrade? Do you do defenses? Do you do weapons? Do you do shields, hull? What do you do? By the way, you always do distributor first. There's no consequences because we're in anarchy space. You can't get in trouble. You can't get notoriety. You can't get a fine even, right? And it's huge, huge fun. Matt, I'm guessing we'll do CQC by 9:30 at the latest is my guess. Right? Something like that. Probably not as early as 9:15, but 9:30. It really depends on if we get any excitement when we go to sell. Right? If we get grabbed by a pirate and we have some excitement there. We set up some piracy last week so we could discuss that, show how piracy works. And by the way, again, for the people that don't understand, I'm not talking about ganking or griefing. I'm talking about actual piracy. We invited Code last week. Our player group's allied with them. I know the guys at Code really well. I invited them to pirate me. And said, we set it up. We did multiple scenarios to show folks, here's what you do if somebody's just attacking you and trying to kill you. Here's what you do if somebody's sending demands, and those are reasonable. And Code's demands are generally reasonable. And they usually ask for 10 tons, maybe as much as 20% of what you've got. Because just like me, they do it for role play, right? And for really nothing else. And for those that have heard me say before, PvP piracy, before I started my YouTube channel, it was what I did the most. It was absolutely my favorite thing. I love it. I love interacting with people. I only ask for 2 tons of cargo. In fact, here's how I do it. You guys will see, because one of the keys to this are using message macros. So I do it like this. I target my target and I go. And that's the message I send them, right? This is a robbery. I'm not trying to kill you. I'm trying to steal from you, right? But if you charge your FSD or you run, my rules are if you're expert ranked or higher and you ignore me, if you curse me, or if you shoot at me and won't stop, then I will shoot back and kill you. But even then, my final warning is this. Oh, I hit the message limit, so it won't let me type in local right now. Here, I'll send it to Wing, since I don't think there's a limit for Wing. So even when I open fire, that's my warning. right? So opening fire. If you come to a full stop, I'll cease fire immediately. Please don't make me kill you for 2 tons of cargo. If you pay, I will not attack you again. And then before I open fire, the last warning I send is this one, right? I doubled, sorry. Please stop. I only want 2 tons of cargo, right? I don't want to kill you, right? And that's the difference between a pirate and a griefer. So, and we had a great chat about it last week. If you're curious, go see that stream at the end of the stream. We had a couple people join that didn't understand that, and it gave them a whole new, funny cement. It gave them a whole new outlook on what piracy really is. Again, the pirates, like myself, we do it because we role play, right? It's fun, right? Love seeing how people react to it. You know, are they gonna stop? I've made a lot of friends that way. I think we'll ignore one with 6% cement.
Usually anything below 10% really isn't worth it.
I usually kind of ignore even below 15.
6%.
But it depends.
Oh, I
like,
got
your
you,
own
cement.
preference, too.
I got you, cement. Well, no, he's saying everybody's firing at one that's at 6%.
No, you're firing at one.
Oh, I am. I wasn't even. You know what? I read when I saw minerals remaining 30%. I just looked at it wrong. Sorry. Thank you. You're correcting me being the dumbass. This actually
We're
I
all
can
allowed to
probably
have our
show.
moments.
Yeah, see, I can show here, guys. You see, I've got all of these excluded, right? And that's really critical to this. That way, you can use a smaller refinery. You don't have to dump shit from your refinery because it just never picks it up in the first place.
Is there a better place than inside of the contacts menu to set your include and exclude?
Nope. Unfortunately,
That's
it's
the
right there.
only place you can set
Here's the way I recommend to do it. Okay, if you right now, if you have nothing excluded, and you've got this giant list, and it's jumping around like crazy, right? And you just cannot fucking do it because it's jumping so much. Log to solar real quick. Fire at don't put out any collectors, fire at a couple rocks, get it to spawn a bunch of materials, and exclude them there in solo, then come back and join us at open. Right? It's definitely best to do that alone, not with other people in the instance.
Your ignore list is entirely saved between sessions. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, no worries there.
I knew it was saved across ships.
The only problem I have with the ignore list is you can't edit it after the fact. Like if that fragment isn't on your contacts, you can't unignore it ever until you see it
It'd
again.
be so nice if you could actually set it somewhere. Like
Agreed. And it's mainly because it's so damn frustrating, the fact that since there's other things spawning, it tends to jump around so much. Like right now, like I apparently have methanol monohydrate crystals not ignored. Oh yeah, I do. Okay, it just showed it that it's in that rock, right? Like as people are seeing on my stream, it's bouncing around. Actually, it's not too bad right now, but it does. Like a couple of weeks ago, we had Jerry join us, and it was awful for him. And so because of that, he and I went into private together. We got it all straightened out, and then brought him back into open. And so as MacVern just found one that's got 25%, I'm heading over to his. Again, I'm using Wingman targeting for that. So I'm going to Cement's target or MacVern's target. In this case, I'll go to... MacVern's got a different one targeted now, so I'm retargeting him. And pay attention to when your collector limpets expire. I'm just sitting here, you're rapid firing the button they're on to get them to all spit out. So you're just paying attention to that. Yeah, and Radius, you do get, and I hope I'm getting your name right, Radius, you do get a little, like if you did have a class 4 refinery and you fill everything up, that is an extra 10 tons, but I find the difference between that and having the refinery I have, it is 6 bins and 6 tons. For those 4 tons, I absolutely will pick an extra limpet while I'm gathering.
I lost the prospector limpet on this rock.
Fire another one. Or target somebody. Oh, it died because if you're targeting other people's limpets, when they fire another one, that limpet's going to die. It's another negative to not having your own limpets.
Yeah, I don't have my own.
And the same thing just happened to me because I was using MacVern's prospector. His just died while I was targeting it, so I'm having to fire another one into the rock.
Yeah, I took a class 5, so I have 3 prospector limpets.
Not a bad idea.
So that way I can keep a couple rocks.
Sure.
There's no way to filter the list, because there's so much stuff in that list. Like when you go to
No,
look at that
I mean,
contact.
other than filtering it by excluding things when you select them. But no, there's not like a only show me the fragments, don't show me the limpets or that kind of thing. So yeah, if that's what I assume that's what you're asking, right?
Yeah, because it kind of jumps around a lot
Yep.
with all the collectors and.
Yep. It jumps around a lot.
It will filter things you have completely ignored. They're pushed right to the bottom of the list,
Exactly.
but that's
Exactly.
the only filtering it has.
Yeah, but that's why I said, Macfern, a second ago, you really want to do that filtering when you're here by yourself, right? As you're doing stuff right at the beginning of it, before you have any collectors out.
Yeah, I've got lots of filters, but I kept the one for materials because I can get carbon and things like that. So I fill up the class ones here. I found a 31 back here, guys.
Oh, great.
If you need one.
I'll head to you.
I think we've kind of broken off into two groups at this point, but
Yeah, that's
fine.
normal,
It might
right?
be easy for me to come across then.
not a big deal.
Yeah, Andrea, I'm using your prospector, so
Okay. My limpets just keep dying, smashing against rocks.
So again, as you can see, when I'm that far away, like I'm 1.2 clicks away, I can start mining at that range. One of the things I really, really do like about the mining lances. If you do this in a wing, another good idea. If you've got a wingmate that's going to, if two of you guys can bring regen beams, that's a great idea too. You know, I don't like, one of the things that I'll say, if you're going to do any sort of PvP combat, regen beams and concordant sequence is banned in PvP because it is just massively overpowered. But if you're doing stuff like this, absolutely bring a regen beam. And sadly, you cannot engineer mining lasers. That's the only weapon that you can't engineer. I was really, when I unlocked the lances at first, I was so excited. I was going to go put long range on them or overcharge or something. And I get to brew and nope, nada. Tell you what, let's see. When I hit 100, we'll go a little bit longer. Gimbaled mining lasers? What do you need gimbaled mining lasers for?
They don't exist. There's turreted mining lasers.
And turreted is just so you can have a multi-crew friend join you. If you're the two people in Elite that actually play multi-crew.
There is actually a use for multi-crew. It's not related to mining at all, but there is actually a use for it. Modules don't malfunction when you're in multi-crew, so if you're just making like a speed run to Colonia or something, have somebody sit with you, and you're just like...
Oh, really? Like if you drop below 70%, it won't malfunction?
Yeah, it's...
I've not heard that either. That's an interesting kind of bug. Exploit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's multi-crew for you. It's broken.
I'm sure that's not by design.
I have a feeling it's not, but yeah, modules don't malfunction in multi-crew as things stand right now.
I don't know if anybody asked yet, but is there a certain shape of asteroids that's going to have a higher yield, or is that?
I don't think so. I mean, not that I've ever heard. Right? There is only the one single deep core asteroid model that has fissures on it. So for that, yes, and you can get pretty good at it enough that you can actually recognize that visually. But for laser mining, no. Yeah, and as Darkside said, RNG. By the way, I'll admit I very much don't want to be doing this right now because I just got Half-Life Alyx installed. Nicely done, Cement. Has anybody?
Man.
I don't want any spoilers at all. Not even a word. I just want to know if anybody has played it yet.
I've not played it. I've seen somebody playing it a little bit, and it looks really cool. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, the really cool part was when. Yes.
I was going to say, don't you dare. I had to keep shutting Aposto up yesterday. My internet connection was down most of the day, so I didn't get to play today. Like literally when this is over, I'm going to be playing Half-Life the rest of the night.
The best way to spoil, not spoil, the really cool part is when they do the thing with the thing.
Yeah.
At the thing.
Yeah, I tell you, the quickest way to get banned from any of my stuff is to spoil something like that for me.
Oof.
Why am I firing at this one? I'm not paying attention. I'm like, oh, it's only 8%. Why am I shooting at it? I've heard the game mechanics are really good. I did look up an article on the best ways to play seated because unless I haul my gear down to my living room, I don't have enough space to do standing. Ooh, 34%.
I think it supports
It
seated
does.
play. Like there's a
It
bunch
does.
of different ways to move around with
No,
accessibility and
it
stuff.
absolutely does.
So I remember seeing that. Like the options seem pretty good. If you're streaming it, you can even have a separate HUD that shows up only to your streamers or to your viewers. That shows your health and stuff.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. Cause like
Well, chat.
normally in game it shows up on your hands and
And let me know, chat, if I did play that some either later tonight or whenever. Would you guys be interested in me streaming it? And for those that saw, was it any interesting to watch the racing streams on Saturday? I might continue to do those. Hell, who knows? Maybe I'll just stop doing Elite Dangerous and start doing racing videos. What do you guys think?
Elite is out. Just renamed,
Okay.
rebranded your channel, but Elite's out.
I got multiple do it and yeses to Alex. I probably won't stream it right off the bat as I kind of just get settled and figure it all out. But yeah, okay, I'll stream it for you guys.
Jeez, getting terrible rocks now.
All right, probably one more rock. And then we're going to go sell, and then we'll play Cold Ballistic. I'm glad. A couple people seem to enjoy it. For those
Has
that don't know...
anybody been having-
No, go ahead, Samantha.
Sorry.
No, please.
Has anybody been having problems with Elite like connection issues and stuff?
That wouldn't surprise me given the amount of traffic on the net right now, but not specifically.
I haven't played in over a week, so I don't have an answer to that for you.
Been fine for me.
Yeah, chat, have you guys had any issues with connections in Elite?
Because like every time I get interdicted near enough, I'm like crashing and like it looks like I'm combat logging.
Yeah,
But
you know, it's funny. I
I'm
had
not, 'cause
a lengthy
get error
conversation.
codes.
Yeah, I had a lengthy conversation with a friend last night about combat logging and about like somebody was basically, well, you should always be running shadow play so you can, prove that you didn't log. And while sure, I think that's a good idea. At the same time, I kind of call a little bit of bullshit on that in that to me, the way you handle that speaks volume as to did you log or not, right? Like if you, like for example, Cement, let's say I interdict you and you disappear, right? If you immediately come back in game and are like, hey, dude, no clue what happened. I just crashed. Sorry. Where would you like to meet? Right? You know what I'm saying? Versus you either get no reply or you get somebody cursing at you and they clearly were logging. It's pretty easy to tell the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use your history panel to get in contact with a commander you've seen before. You can't like direct message them from it or anything. You have to add them as a friend to do that.
Right. Yeah, Radius says he's got too many games in his queue. I do too right now, actually. I've been playing Doom Eternal, which is fucking fantastic. I played Control back when it released, and it's got a big patch that comes out on Thursday that I think adds some DLC content. And if you guys remember DLSS, which is part of the RTX stuff, there's a new DLSS 2.0 that's being released, and Control's the first game to get it that apparently is a massive performance improvement for it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing Control later this week. Because if you guys haven't played Control, man, is it great. It's visually the most beautiful game I've ever played, too. All right.
I'm jealous of the time you have.
Well, yeah. Thank you. And I was pissed off today because I had all day that I could have been playing Alex, right? Like I literally got up like early this morning, right? I was at my computer at like 9 a.m., like ready to play Alex and start downloading it. And my internet connection was down. It finally came back at like 5 o'clock this afternoon. And right now, with the way shit is, like without internet access too, like first world problem, obviously. But yeah, like it sucked. I wanted watching Stargate SG-1 all day. I almost got through all of season 8. Which is like the 5th or 6th, maybe 7th time I've been all the way through it. So, okay, so I think 94 tons is enough. Now, let's talk about going to sell. Wingmates, if you guys don't want to join me, if you want to stay to sell, if you want to stay and continue, awesome. It would be nice. So one of you was coming to sell because we could show wing trade profits. Okay, great. MacVern, if you want to stay and keep making credits, by all means do. right?
I'm asking my wing if they want to come with or not.
Yeah, I mean it's totally fine. I just want to show everybody, like, if we get pirated and how to find the best place to sell. So let's segue to that. So we're going to go back to EDDB. We're going to go back to, I'm just going to start fresh here. We'll go back to commodities. We'll find low temp diamonds again, because that's what we've got. And immediately when we scroll down, there is a system right now paying 1.6. Now, it's pretty low demand, so we can risk it. And because I don't care about the credits right now, I am going to risk it, but it might be a better idea to choose one of the lower systems. It's really up to you guys at the time. Now, what we're going to do is let's see how far apart these are in case we get to this system and somebody just let go a whole bunch of limpets, didn't they? I can hear I'm going to turn it up so everybody else can hear.
Hear the explosions.
Yeah, if you drop more than I think it's 20 or 40 in open space, like if you're dropping cargo for a friend to give it to them, do not drop more than 20 at a time, because they will start, as you guys hear right now, exploding.
Cargo also explodes after a certain time limit too.
Well, true, yeah. But this is when, but this is just if you dump too many, it's going to explode all at once. So okay, so
yeah, absolutely.
Let's grab this police system and see where that guy is. Not terrible. And and I don't have enough. I can't make it without scooping. That's a bummer. All right, let's try the next system. Let's try this guy. We could do some economical routing if we had to. We could call the fuel rats along the way.
I am a fuel rat. I'm
that's
just not carrying the limpet controller.
That's pretty far too.
Fuel.
So I tell you what we're gonna do is we'll use this as an opportunity to show the rats, to show how that works. So let's plot to the first one, and what we're gonna do is let's see what our fuel star is.
Gleese is a bit closer than the other one.
Okay, so we're going to note this name.
Yeah, I'd have to stop for
Okay, great. And so, I'm just going to call the normal rats just to show how that process works anyway. And along the way, let's call the fuel rats. So we'll go ahead and stow our cargo hatch. We'll go ahead and stow our hard points, and we'll get to jumping. While we're getting ready for that, let's go ahead and open a link to the fuel rats. I've told the story before, but the first time when I started playing the game, I ran out of fuel. Didn't understand what fuel scoops were, was in a system with no station, and was pissed off. Like, how can there not be fuel here? How can there not be a station? I don't understand this. And I Google it, and I find the fuel rats. And I'm reading about it, and I was convinced this was trolling me. There's no fucking way people will actually just bring you fuel and help you. So I wound up self-destructing, because, again, I was sure that wasn't the case. Absolutely is the case. In fact, in a large way, some guys will be like, oh, I don't want to bother them. Trust me, you're not bothering them. There is some rat right now sitting in Super Cruise hoping somebody's going to call and need help, because that's what they enjoy doing. I've ratted before. It really is a ton of fun. So let's go ahead.
Bit of a race between rats, too.
It
If
is?
you get multiple rats calling your case, there's a bit of a race to see who can get the fuel limpet to you first.
And the reason for that is when you get first limpet, they keep track of who gets first limpet. To get the in-game fuel rat badge, you have to have gotten 10 first limpets. So when you hit that 10th one, they'll give you the code for it, and then you get the badge. All right. So yes, we need fuel. I'm going to say Exesius. As you can tell, I've done this before, and we're going to put the system name where we're going to meet them. In fact, let me go ahead and plot to that so I know how many jumps that directly is.
I'm just watching the IRC because I've had it open this whole time.
And 10 jumps, so it's going to take a bit to get there.
I'm not calling jumps on it.
And nope, we don't have a timer. And start.
Distress call.
Hiya, guys. Stream. and wanted to
I'll
show
dispatch
off
for you,
what
CGs. There you go.
just let them do it, Andrelli, if that's okay. Um,
I'm not really doing anything. I'm just kind of idly mining here. We're gonna stay and mine while you go sell.
whoops. I'm doing this to show you guys off.
Ah, crap! It put low temperature diamonds on the frickin' thing. Okay, got it.
And I might need MacVern, are you going to stay here and continue
Yeah,
to mine?
I'll
You already
stay
left.
back.
You already left the wing. Great, great. I was going to say I'm going to need you to leave the wing because I'm going to need to wing them in. Right. I love jumping through a ring. Like I went up above it so that I could jump back through it. I love doing that.
Backroom
Oh,
chat's like, oh my
completely
god,
agree,
it's a
Watcher.
CGs.
So Watcher said, "Caution: do not kill an on-duty fuel rat. It's douchey. It's rude." I completely agree, buddy. Yes, I like. There's a fuel I've ganked in the past in my day, but I do absolutely draw the line at attacking a fuel rat.
Actually, I have a question about that.
Yeah.
What if you intentionally, like, lie to get a fuel rat to come out to you solely for the purpose of ganking them? Will they just
Absolutely happened
ban you
before.
from the service?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, that's just what they do.
Okay.
They have a pretty great policy. They don't engage in salt. They're not going to bitch about it. They're not going to cry about it. They just eat the rebuy and go back to what they're doing. Right? They're very mature about it. They're not going to make a big deal. In fact, one of the ganker groups did what's known as the longest range. Let's see. I'm just checking the channel to make sure that. I need to change my nick. There's another group called the Fuel Corgis. I don't know if they still exist, but one of the groups got a Fuel Corgi to jump all the way to Beagle Point. As soon as the guy dropped in, the guy was an anaconda. He deploys his hard points, blam, 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 kills him, and then self-destructed himself and spawned back in the bubble. So he went through all this fucking work to get all the way out to Beagle just so he could get video killing a fuel rat. And I've seen some douchey shit, and that's pretty top of the list, I gotta admit. Oh, what's the command for Nick?
Slash Nick.
Yeah, it's slash Nick. What's user?
You'll have to.
I've already got a
You'll
name
have to
registered.
identify with your
I just can't
password,
remember it. Yeah, and I use a simple password for this one. So
That one's slash message Nick serve identify, and then your password.
yeah, it's slash Nick serve
Identify.
Yep.
I remember IRC when @locator spelled with an OR was a
And then
thing.
is it your name and then the password?
If you're not using that nick, yeah, you can use your name and then the password.
What system are we going to?
Okay, there we go. We are going to here. I'll put it in Wing Chat.
Okay.
I will assign the rats going to your case, though.
If that's the standard way, great. I just kind of wanted them to do it the standard way. Yeah, they wanted me to add 3, but I'm going to try to keep you in the wing if it's okay.
We can, yeah.
Your browser's being broadcast intentionally, correct?
Absolutely, yes, Jaffo. Thank you for the heads up,
The fuel
Jaffo.
rats don't appreciate it when you stream the rescue chat, but there's only one rescue right now, so.
I let them know that I'm streaming. Let me clarify that again. And Jafu, yeah, thank you for keeping me safe. But yes, I'm doing that absolutely intentionally. In fact, that's why I changed over. Although it might have showed it anyway. Did my password show? It's a very simple password. That's why I use it for this. So I don't really care. Actually, yeah, it didn't show it. So. Let's see, 6 jumps. For those that are interested, let me see if I can find it real quick. I do have a video on joining the rats. They're a great group. Nathaniel, if you can kind of mute for me, that'd be great. We're hearing your clinking of your bowl.
Apologies.
No worries, no worries. Let me find that. Yeah, here's a tutorial on joining the fuel rats and how that process works. Let me put that in both. Great, Z-Perk. Sorry, I just saw the chat in Twitch say one of the rats, Ravenov, is... I think I recognize Raven's name as well. The very first commander that I ever friended in game was a fuel rat, was Commander Zeal. The very first commander I ever winged up with. Didn't even know what any of it was. Oh, Jaffa, did you just paste in the same thing I did?
Yeah, I was behind. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries, dude. Don't sweat it.
I did your other video also about the fuel rats.
Yeah, I think I just did the same thing just as I saw you do that. So let's see.
Hey, Chaotic, will you invite Macfern?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Did you send me a
Okay,
DM?
so we'll want to add these two guys. So now,
You did,
guys, what we'll do
actually.
is we'll go into social, and we'll add these guys as friends, one at a time. And
I invited them. Sorry
well,
about that. I missed your DM.
huh? Confirm. Not finding that one. Huh,
That bumped
interesting.
someone, sorry.
Okay. Oops. Let's do... Oh, it might have been because of that space at the beginning.
Yeah, the friend thing cares about that.
Add to friend. Let's try that again. Ah, there we go.
I should probably open the...
And the little code that I typed, because I kind of remember these. So FR plus is I sent the friend request. And I've got Alex in friends, so let's go ahead and add him to wing. And it looks like we've also got Admiral Meep in wing. My wingmate is a friendly. Wingmate is a friendly. Whoops. He'll likely drop in.
Just for what it's worth, calling this early is generally frowned upon.
Oh,
in our
sure.
back
I'm
room
just
chat. Some
yeah,
of the
just doing this
op-ops are
on.
a little upset.
Yeah, just did this early, guys, to show the process on stream. I would usually.
I'm not going to drop on you guys. I'm just going to go straight to the station.
Call. I'm letting folks know that. So, yep, good thing to point out. Yeah, because Norm, I'm only doing this just because. I've seen a question from Thomas. No, you do not need a pulse wave scanner for laser mining. You only need the pulse wave scanner for core mining. Yep, exactly like you just said. Yep. And yep, Watcher mentioned Iridium Wing. So Iridium Wing is a, I guess you call them a PvP group. They're certainly not the highest skill pilots in the PvP community, but certainly high skill enough to protect. They run a service where if you're an explorer, you're coming back into the bubble, you're coming into Colonia, whatever it is, and you would like to do that in open, and you would like to role play, be in open, and have someone protect you. They wing up with you with the express goal of they will do whatever it takes to keep you alive. And last time I talked to him anyway, they had never ever lost a trader or lost an explorer. So they're just asking me to make sure I've got my beacon on, which I do. And at the end of this, they'll send me a link to their page on, their reference stuff like, hey, here's where you should have a fuel scoop. Here's how fuel scoop works, all that kind of stuff, right? To help you for future engagements, right? So they're also all about helping you learn so that you don't have to call the rats.
I'm half tempted to link that in your chat just to help them out too.
I tell you what, when they share it, I'll post it in, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, the chat will block links. That's why I say it that way. So once they've sent it to me, I'll show it to everybody. I think it's great that they use old school IRC. Let's see how many jumps I have. We have 2 jumps. 2J.
For the guys in my wing, sorry I'm not doing anything. I'm kind of focused on Fuel Rat's channel right now.
No worries, Thomas.
So if somebody else
doing some looking.
If somebody else comes in, I'm gonna take their case too. So, because I'm wearing the dispatch hat.
Doesn't selling selling minerals? Yes, absolutely. Matt Holiday asked, does selling mined minerals count toward trader rank? Absolutely, it does. Admiral Meep says hi, everyone, and absolutely does. In fact, the record right now from 0 rank to elite rank is 7 hours and 5 minutes, and that was done last year. I don't know that you can get it quite that fast right now. It was when Paynite was paying $1 million. That was done with mining, right? So absolutely. And even now, I'm probably going to sponsor another elite rank competition. I might do separate ones for trading and exploration this time. You certainly could do it in 10, right? I did it just like I did a stream last year just on a whim. I did it in 11 hours and 30 minutes. Like nonstop. I did took a couple breaks on stream, but I did it all in one stream, chatting with everybody. So if you're really efficient about it, it's essentially getting to the Type 9 that is the hard part, that all your time is based there, right? So the fastest you can get to the Type 9, the better, right? Okay, so I'm going to move away from the sun a bit. I'm going to move from the star a bit. So not
What's the station we're going to?
That I don't know yet. Let me finish this out, Cement, or you can look at EDDB and find it. Actually, hold on. I can bring that up real quick. We are going to go to, right now it's Lewis Landing, the planetary base. Okay. All right, and I'm about to drop, so we throttle down. They'll tell you in the original messages, if you're normally dropped and out of fuel, they want you to turn off all your modules, turn off everything so you're not burning fuel, right? I know that I don't need to do that in this case. And as you see, let me turn this up. Oh, a courier. Interesting. And we have another here, DBX. Another bit of an odd one. Usually you see the bigger ships for this. I've got the game quite loud so you guys can hear this. Audio is way better in Discord than YouTube. Interesting, Thomas. Okay, good to know. Unfortunately, not something I can control. Let me see if that's enough for me to plot now. I don't think it is. If not, we'll just stop at a station.
It's probably a local setting because it sounds the same to me.
Okay, interesting. Thomas, make sure that because YouTube has been throttling streams and defaulting them to much lower bit rates. So check that for me real quick, Thomas, if you don't mind. They might not have enough to be able to get me there. How far do I?
Yeah, that's no longer the best-selling station either now.
Yeah, I've got 82 light years to go. Oop. Almost there. Oh, actually, we're still several jumps away.
Main fuel tank low. Incoming fuel.
So let's go back to EDDB while this is happening and refresh. And top diamonds. It still thinks it is. How much is Lewis Landing paying right now?
Oh,
So I'm going to give him some limpets because it looked like he was out of limpets. .9 kilobits. I would imagine that YouTube would look like shit at that bit rate. Aposto, welcome, buddy.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep, got you now.
Until you mute you for spoiler alerts.
I sent you the link for KGB foam on IRC exegesis.
Oh, I obviously know that.
Yeah, just because you wanted it. So I figured, yeah, I'll send it to you.
Oops. Okay, so we're going to not sit here and make them send me a million stuff, right? So we're just going to go ahead and land somewhere along the way. So let's see, is there anything nearby in this system? Stations. Yeah, there's one right next door, right? Sure, just gonna head to the station right next door. Yeah, purposefully didn't have one, but thanks for reminding me and the viewers. Really appreciate it, guys. Fly dangerously. And we'll go ahead and jump out. We'll split them as we jump. And Storm, is the quality of the stream looking okay for you? Or sounding okay? Just want to confirm it's something weird with Thomas.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Okay, cool beans. So Cement, why don't we just drop from this wing and we'll just reform another one?
okay.
Let me think again.
Super cruise at the moment. In space at the moment.
And let me go close out with chat. Take it easy. Have a good stream. Keep an eye on your full gauge. Absolutely. Thanks much, guys. Appreciate. If I can type. Letting me demo this for everyone. You guys rock. And so as you see, they send out a typical message, learn about filtering the galaxy map. So it takes you to their article, right? That talks about how it works, how to filter the galaxy map for scoopable stars. I have a video covering fuel scooping. In fact, I should get. Oh, I guess they've got one here. I was gonna say I should get them to cut to link my videos on the site somewhere. So we'll go ahead and head out here. Close that. Let's minimize this, and we'll just go ahead and dock and fuel up. So a little bit longer than I hoped, guys, for CQC. By the time I probably get there and sell, it's probably another 20 minutes or so at least. Aposto, are you going to be around for CQC?
Yeah, I could do that.
I told everybody I really don't want to be doing this right now because I really want to go play Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah.
Which I still haven't gotten to start.
Are you going to play CQC after this?
I'm going to do at least one round.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah, Half-Life Alyx is pretty hot.
Don't say a word. Don't even want to hear that. I've avoided all the reviews and spoilers. I did read a pretty decent guide on setting up for seated play. So I did check
that. One
that.
thing I miss about Total Biscuit, his videos.
It
the
is
first
VR
half
only,
an
Thomas,
hour of
yeah.
his game reviews was just detailing all the options the games had. No spoilers, nothing. Just detailing what the game could do, like options-wise. That's one thing I miss about his videos.
Yeah, and Thomas asked, isn't it VR only? And yep, unfortunately, well, I shouldn't say unfortunately, because I have VR, but yes, it is a VR only title. It's kind of the first, like, major, big, AAA, VR only title. Or at least they're kind of billing it that way. I don't know that I'd call it the first. I
mean, other than Elite.
Well, Elite's not VR only, though. No, but
that's true.
Yeah, good VR point. Only, right? And there's been some others like Robo Recall was pretty good and VR only, but certainly nothing from a major developer. Vader Immortal, yep. But again, that was really episodic, and
Yeah, but you have to think about the size, scope, and
exactly
length of the game.
Exactly.
Full stories
yep.
is a full half game.
They said how many hours?
Any real full-fledged
right
games that are exclusively
is
to
it
VR.
Do you know, Aposto, is it a 20-hour, a 50-hour, a 100-hour game?
I think it depends on you and how much time you take doing it. Content wise, like if you did a speed run through it, maybe it would. I don't know. I don't know how far I am into it.
Fair enough.
I couldn't honestly say, but
enough.
I have a feeling like you could probably. It's at least 20 hours. I would be surprised if it's over 40 hours though.
Okay, that's a good estimate then. How many hours do you have in it so far? 5 or 6?
5. But I don't know that I'm 5 hours. Like, I've really taken a long time in every area to explore.
Yeah, okay.
Stuff.
And that's probably the way that I'm going to play it.
With its physics, it's all there. The physics are there. So,
yep.
It's a game where you can sit around, and if you played Half-Life 2 or especially with the gravity gun,
yep.
you can just do stuff and throw things around and see how a box falls. And I spent 20 minutes throwing a beer can around. I mean,
yep. Hey,
there was an old joke
Hold
about
on, guys.
that for the original Source engine too.
Let me just jump in real quick here. Admiral Meep just joined us on chat, and that's who just ratted us a second ago. Welcome, Meep, and thank you very much for letting me show that off to everybody. That's great. So welcome. And one of the things I also should have done that would have helped a little bit, I'm going to do it once I get outside the station, is dump all my old limpets, because I've got 380 tons of limpets weighing me down and shortening my jump range. So I'm going to dump all those here once I get outside the station.
When were you ratting Exegius?
Oh, it was like a year ago when I did the video for them. I had Orange Sparks on and went through the whole thing. So
yeah, because they're asking in chat.
Yeah, it's been a long time, right?
You're gonna get a fine if you don't.
That's why I'm waiting to dump it. That's why I'm waiting to dump it until I get pretty far away.
Outside the no fire zone is
exactly.
fine. Yeah.
So once
just
I
for
cross
anybody
that,
else who's doing it.
Meep says he's a little giddy. Well, dude, I appreciate you stopping by.
This is a fun little mini game if you're so inclined. Dump limpets as you're leaving the station.
Oh,
see how far you can get before the fines stop rolling in.
I just dumped them. Okay, so let's replot and see. It was 4 jumps. Let's see if that makes it any shorter. Whoops. No, I mean, it was 5 jumps. Yep, still 5 jumps. No big deal. But let's get to jumping.
By the way, X, you didn't update your description in Twitch. It still talks about racing at Monza.
Oh, shit, I did forget that, didn't I? I always forget
Yeah.
something. What does it think I have deployed? I don't have anything to. What the fuck?
Landing gear, cargo scoop.
No.
No. Weird.
Oh, there it goes. All right. I had to cycle the cargo scoop to get it to go. So no, Meep, again, thanks for joining, buddy. I appreciate it. I said I was his first case in like 3 months. Did you get first limp at Meep? I couldn't remember if it was you or I can't remember the other gentleman's name.
It was
that
Alex.
was with us.
It was Alex that got the first limpet.
Okay, so we'll get there to Cement. You're already there, right?
Yeah.
Bummer, Meep. Sorry you didn't get first. Have you got your badge though, Meep? Okay, let's plot all the way there.
I have mine using it right now, actually.
Yeah, let me know, Meep, if you've done your 10 limpets. Otherwise, I'll have to make sure that you're around next time and call you. That's like the 5th or 6th time I've called the rats in my career.
Mm-hmm.
Now, somebody mentioned, actually something that pissed me off a long time ago. Somebody mentioned not killing a rat. In fact, one night, just kind of screwing around, I was doing combat and ran out of fuel doing PvP just because I wasn't paying attention. Called the rats. Guy came to fuel me. As soon as he fueled me and started to leave, not a friend of mine, but one of the people we were playing with, chased him down and killed him. And
wow, rude.
It's one of the few times I've been very pissed off.
I will make an exception for off-duty rats. If you're not actually on a rescue, you're not a rat.
Yeah, if I see somebody outfit for...
if they want to engage in consensual PvP, absolutely.
If I see somebody outfit with fuel gear, I'm going to leave them alone.
Yeah.
I can't help but laugh a little every time I say the words consensual PvP.
Yeah, I know.
It sounds silly.
It kind of does, you're right.
So guys, what we're going to do, as soon as we get there, we'll land and sell. Cement, you have not sold yet, correct?
No, I haven't.
Okay, good. So we're going to just show quickly what trade profits or what wing profits look like. So whenever you have to be in the same instance, you don't have to actually be landed at the station, but you do have to be in the same instance. What's going on, Split? And so once you're in the instance and your wingmate sells, you get 5% of those trade profits. So if you're in a fully loaded Type 9 or cutter, 512 tons, and that's going to be worth as much as 800 million credits, that 40 million, especially if there's 3 of you, adds up or 4 of you, adds up pretty damn quickly. So it's another way that doing wing mining, really, really pays off. And then again, we'll do some CQC after that. So whoever was asking earlier about CQC, we're probably about 15 minutes or so away. We'll probably do that right at 10. For those, just so we can start to get a little bit of a head count, for those that are in channel right now, if you're going to play CQC, jump into the Sidey Slaughter channel for a minute or two. We'll come get you as soon as we've got a head count. But just jump down there real quick and so we can get a count. Aposto, I know you're going to, so. Well, so far that's nobody. So as long as, if we don't have at least 4 or 5 of us, we won't play. We'll need at least that many, so. Well, I guess we'll reevaluate then. Right now it looks like we don't have any takers, so. It's been a bit of a quiet night.
So half like Alex's.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly, right. Not a big
maybe everybody's just kind of being. Here's your real. Like, go play Alex. Go play Alex.
That would be nice. So now that we're here,
we should take bets. Let's start betting.
Because hold on. Let me talk about this real quick. Since we just got the system, and potentially this is a very dangerous system. We're looking for players. Don't see any players on my scanner. They could be throttled down and hiding in Super Cruise. We've locked to the station. Actually, it's Lewis Landing. Yep. So we've locked to Lewis Landing. It's not too far away. I've got remote systems turned on, so if I need to, I can highway in. I would have my wingmate at that station, ideally, so that I could just be full throttle all the way to the station and drop on his wing beacon. Because he's at a planetary station, you can't really do that. Now, Pasto, what were you saying?
I want to take bets on a scale, Exegia scale, of how much you love or hate Alex after you play. So on the low end,
don't even say that, because I don't want you to
turn the game full refund.
Okay.
And on the high end, it's going to be replace your YouTube.
Replace my YouTube channel with. Now, are you going to try to make that prediction right now? Because I don't want you to predict how well I'm going to like it, because even that's a spoiler.
Oh, no. I just wanted to throw that out there on a scale. Let's see what the people think.
I'm hoping it's like an 8 or a 9.
Yeah, I'd be interested. I'm interested to see what you think. I think you're either going to love it or hate it.
There's no multiplayer in it, correct?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. There might be something coming later.
How can it be? Okay, hold on. Meat said, just realized the time. It's been an honor. He's got to go. Thanks for helping out, buddy. I'm glad you could stop in on the chat and let us say thanks and everything. So yeah, that was fun, buddy. Feel free to stop by any other time or join us in the Discord sometime. What was I going to say about Alex? I do wish it was multiplayer. Oh, I know what I was going to say, but wait a minute, guys. We're in open. We just flew all the way here in open with almost 100 tons of low temp diamonds to sell in open, and nobody attacked us. There's not even anybody around. How can that be? Hopefully you can.
It's a very big place.
And
you
yeah,
can
Dark
also
Side.
turn on your bandwidth meter too.
That's another good one. Yep, Dafo. And yeah, I've got the Windows Mixed Reality controllers. Oh, by the way, I saw earlier somebody in chat mention they were going for the Odyssey, the Samsung Odyssey. It is, for the money, it's a really good one in terms of resolution and stuff. But I'll admit, of the 17 headsets I've owned or tried, it was in my bottom 5. I found it very uncomfortable. It's no higher resolution than any of the others. They claim some virtual pixel thing, and basically it's anti-aliasing. Pixels are pixels are pixels. So that's definitely not one of my favorite ones. If it's about budget, fine, because it is fairly inexpensive, but if your budget is more flexible, that is not the one I would go with. Well, Dark Side, I'll tell you soon.
Budget restraints, yeah.
If there's budget restraints, it's sure. Normally on the budget side, the Quest is my favorite, although I understand that the Quest is so sold out everywhere, it's going for like 50% over normal price.
And they're coming out with a 128-bit version too, right?
By the way, I just noticed that the gravity here is 1.4G. I got denied docking. Let's try again. No.
Station might be full.
Yeah, it is. No landing pads. Getting denied.
So how many
again.
tons of salt did you mine tonight?
I haven't really gotten any salt tonight, actually.
I heard you just trying to get some while you were talking about
I know.
open.
I know.
Dirty griefers got you.
I know. Well, last week I actually invited Code to pirate me, right? You were around for that, right?
Yeah. It's amazing how open is. There's not, you can hardly ever run into people,
It is very. In fact, Cement and I
there
went.
is a misconception that people keep in their minds, and it's like dirty griefers are everywhere.
Yep.
It would be cool if it was populated that much, though. I think
it would have been really cool to be in the system Salome was going through with like 30 or 40 commanders orbiting the star trying to kill her.
Well, last week, one night, Cement and I went to do some PvP piracy, set in Super Cruise for 45 minutes, Cement? Staring at our scanner, never saw a single human, and then just went back home and stopped. So, okay, Cement. That's right. That's right.
Like at least an hour.
Oh, it was forever, just sitting there staring at your scanner, just like this. Please, somebody show up.
I ended up pirating some NPCs.
Yeah, that's
good. Split just said I got.
Did you see that they stopped NPCs from carrying low temperature diamonds? They just don't anymore.
Well, apparently they still do. It's just incredibly rare, and the odds on getting them are extremely low, which is so fucking stupid, right? Because it would be a great way to make credits. It's complex gameplay. It's fun, right? But yeah,
I wonder if they just lowered the amount of like mineral or. It seems like NPCs just carry junk now anyway.
Agreed. Yeah, they were like all the ones that I pirated. I think you were with me that night. We were getting like, I remember once we got leather and beer, something like that. It's like, what kind of party is that guy heading toward? Right?
I didn't get anything real. It was all just useless stuff.
Yeah. So, okay. So Cement, why don't you go ahead and sell? So we'll show everybody what those extra trade profits look like. And there you go. So I got an extra 7 million from Cement, right? And so if we look over on transactions, there they are, right? And then, now that we're going to sell, Cement, you can tell me what you get. And what, we mined for 45 minutes? Something like that. Okay, and you notice the price did drop, so it's down to 1.3 million per ton, right? Still, or almost 1.4. 130 million plus Cement, almost 140 million for 45 minutes of mining. Something like that. So if I was really going, I just hit it. So you should have just got
6.4 mil.
6.4 mil, right? So if we'd have really been at it, really been paying attention and trying, 200 million an hour right now, very attainable in large class ships, right? So with that, I'm going to go ahead and, oh, there's no shipyard here, damn it. I was going to transfer over my, my DBX. Let's find the closest shipyard. I'll do that. And then we'll jump in and play some CQC. So again, we're going to go to EDDB. We're going to go to systems. We're going to say we're in this Glees system. We're looking for, oh, I meant stations. We're going to say has facilities, has a shipyard, our reference system, go. And the closest is this guy. That's a planetary though. That's a little far from the star. Here we go. Let's go to this one. We'll jump over here, start transferring over my DBX, and then we'll go play CQC.
I'm going to get off now anyway.
All right, buddy. Thanks for the help and for joining in. I appreciate it, man.
Bye, Cement.
Yeah. See you.
Bye, Cement.
Have a good one.
Now, I'll ask one more time to make sure we are going to play CQC. Who in Discord, other than Aposto and I, wants to join for CQC?
I would, but I can't. My hand's on fire.
Yeah, buddy. I'm sorry to hear that, Chief. Anybody? Any takers? Storm?
I'm still working, sorry.
Okay. Well, looks like we're going to play. Looks like I get to play Alex early tonight. I'm not going to complain about that.
Yeah, if I was going to play CQC, I'd have made $120 million with you.
Ooh, I don't know why, Storm. I had you at 200%. I was like, why is Storm so damn loud?
I'm looking forward to playing Alex. Actually, yeah, I'll play Alex. But I would have played CQC, guys. Come on.
Well, I'd be up for CQC. And yeah, Darkside, I figured that it was going to get low by the time we get there because we knew that it was pretty far away. I mean, it was a pretty low demand, so I thought that was going to happen.
Is it just me, or does Aposto sound like he's in the can?
It sounds like he's in the can.
Oh, I'm using a different kind of mic. Sorry, guys.
I thought you were just taking a long crap.
Does it sound?
I thought he had an update to his man cave or something.
No, he's using the butt plug mic, aren't you?
It's a toilet
Yeah, I got the butt plug mic out.
Have you guys seen those? Well, if you see the mics that come with some stereo systems that for calibrating the speaker levels, they're about 3 inches tall. You set them up, and they have a round base that's about maybe 2 inches in diameter, and then they taper up to a point, and so they look unpleasant.
Hey,
well,
at
Matt,
least it's
I don't. True, for her pleasure. I don't think we've got enough, Matt. If there's 3 or 4 more folks that want to join for CQC, I'm up for it. Again, I'll admit I'm very much looking forward to playing Alex. Well, William, I call him like I see him, buddy.
All right, is this a better mic or a worse mic?
It's about the same. You're just louder. It's about the same quality, but you are louder.
Oh, okay.
It almost sounds like in-game sound effects.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's not that bad. It sounds like you're on a speakerphone.
No, it's bad, but it's not that bad, like X said.
Yeah.
It's bad different.
Yeah, it sounds like you're on a speakerphone.
Bad different. All right, hold on. Maybe I can hear it on the stream. Hold on. I'm gonna.
Yeah, it just sounds like a speakerphone.
Send $5 to buy a $5 mic, okay?
It's not as bad as Potato Mike. Let's be honest.
Especially new Potato Mike. I think I liked old Potato Mike better than new Potato Mike.
There is no new Potato Mike. I'm back to old Potato Mike. You're talking about when I use my cell phone.
Oh. Yeah.
And for those that are curious, when we meet new and old Potato Mike, let me give an example. So this is my mic I use for narrating and streaming and stuff, but I have a wireless. Oh shit! I just dropped it. I have a wireless headset that I use if I'm kind of just doing stuff around the house. I'm a walker talker. Like if I'm having a conversation, I'm walking around, and
this would be Potato Mike, and as you can tell, it is certainly Potato Mike.
And then that's Good Mike again. I assume it switched over, right?
Yeah, there was just a slight difference.
Just a slight difference, huh? Titus, thanks for stopping by, buddy. Hope you had a good evening. So yeah, guys, we're pretty much done. We're going to go ahead and land, and I'm going to transfer my DBX, and unless all of a sudden we get a flood saying, please play CQC, we're going to skip CQC tonight. I figured this stream was going to be kind of quiet and boring. Need to come up with something exciting to do next week.
Let's do the
I appreciated the refresher on the mining.
We got to go out to the spaghetti factory and do my spaghetti racing.
Oh yeah. I do want to do that.
SRV races.
Yeah.
Brown dwarfs, please.
Well, Pasto's been wanting. Thank you for pooping on me right here at the end, Cement. Thanks, buddy.
At least
Cement,
he appreciates it.
Cement donates with the poop emoji, so I always say, like, Mango started the tradition of pooping on me.
Oh, nice.
I haven't chatted with Mango in a while. Where's my DBX? There it is.
Did you ever get in contact with Orange?
I did not, actually. I didn't try again after last time I brought it up, but no, I didn't. Actually, that's a good point. Let me kind of hype up a few things. So tomorrow, essentially, we started Bone Stock Sidewinders. We blasted each other outside of an anarchy station, so you can't get in any kind of trouble. The rebuys are super low. We start in Sidewinders. We progress to the Standard Eagle, and then to the Viper 3. We then go 2 modules per round, so when you die, you get to upgrade any single module with the limit of no Seeker missiles, no Guardian, power play engineering, that kind of stuff as well. But it's a ton of fun. So please come by and join us for that. And then Friday, for Friends on Friday, I've got a special guest who I've actually never spoken with before, Vindicator Jones, who's been back making content. I don't know if he's actually like back. He did have something new recently. Let's see if he's put out anything else, because I haven't checked recently.
Vindicator Jones is the one responsible that brought the audio chatter to the stations.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he did it on his own, and Frontier took the idea and, of course, implemented it to the game.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's old school creator. Looks like he's put out a couple of videos in the last couple of weeks. 2 months ago, he put a video, Vindicator Jones is coming back. He's only put out 2 videos since that 2 months ago, so coming back kind of slow. But we're going to talk about his channel and talk about the game in general. So I hope you guys can come join us for that. Yeah, it is great to have him back. Otherwise, thanks for joining, everybody. And yeah, I think we'll go ahead and call it a night here. And I get to go play some Half-Life Alyx. So I'm not going to say I'm disappointed in that. So thanks again, everybody. And remember to fly dangerously. Catch you later, guys.